All right, Rocket Johnny here again with another PC build video. We are unboxing our AIO cooler, and as always we'll have a link to it in the description. So check that out. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. You don't want to miss out on any of our PC build videos. And today we are unboxing the Deepcool GamerStorm Castle 240 EX White. So this is a AIO cooler. It's an all-in-one cooler, which has it's a liquid cooler, so it's got a water pump and a radiator, and then it's got fans to cool off your CPU. And when it comes to CPU cooling, you basically have three options. You've got a fully custom water cooling solution. You've got an AIO cooler like this, and then you have air cooling. So the advantage with a liquid cooler is that you're going to get better thermal performance. Now, if you go with a fully custom water cooling solution, it's going to be pretty costly, and the complexity of it goes up quite a bit. So the AIO cooler is a good middle ground that's very easy to install, gives you the liquid cooling performance at a lower cost with much easier installation. And it'll give you better thermal performance than just an air cooling option, and it looks pretty cool too. So this one has Deepcool's anti-leak technology, so you're not going to have issues with leaking. They have a proprietary method where they can release the pressure and prevent any leaks. So additionally, you've got some cool RGB lighting on the feature here. And in fact, we can look at this, but you can remove the logo inside, which is kind of nice. But one thing that this cooler does not have that some of the other GamerStorm coolers have, like the Captain 240 Pro, is it's got the RGB lighting here, but it does not have it on the fans. Okay, so what we're going to actually do though is we're going to use these Deepcool RGB fans. We're going to replace the fans that come with the unit with these RGB fans, and we're going to see if we can do that right now. So let's open this thing up. Okay, so you can see that it comes with the pump connected to the radiator. Then you've got your fans right here. So these are we have a white case. We went with the white version. So you have a white fan case, but again, no RGB lighting in the fan itself. And then you've got your power connector for the fan. So you've got two fans that it comes with. In here, we have plates for mounting this. We have a couple different mounting options depending on the motherboard and the CPU that you're using. Then you've got some cables here, and I believe this is for particular motherboards. So you've got an option for ASRock, Asus, MSI here. There's a gigabyte. It's they're labeled in here. And then you've got, this is a little controller for manual control of the RGB. And you've got your instruction manual here that gives you details on how to install this thing based on, you know, your motherboard and CPU. And there's options for Intel and AMD. AM4 is what we'll be using here. So. Okay, and then this is a basically a mirrored plate that you can change out instead of the logo in the center of the pump. So let's take a look at that. So you can see your your heatsink that makes contact with the top of the CPU there. And you've got connections for your power and your RGB control. And so you can actually, you can see here where you can open this top. And there's the GamerStorm logo. You can actually remove that. Just pops right off. And you can replace it if you don't want the logo with this blank here. And I kind of prefer not to have the logo, so let's do that right now. And there's these little tabs that go in the slots there. And that's it, just pops right in there. And we'll wipe that off. So there's no fingerprints on it. And we can close this back up. So that's how easy it is to remove the logo there. And then there's the radiator. Again, we got the white version. Okay. And in the little hardware bag, you've got some little GamerStorm logos there, little decals looks like. It's actually a little metal piece. Then you've got an option for AMD. You've got options for Intel as well. AMD TR4 and then AMD I believe this is for the AM4. And you've got some hardware here that's for both options. Screws and fasteners here. Okay. So we already took the logo out. Let's put that there. Now, these fans would get installed with some of these screws onto the radiator there. But in our case, we're going to use the RGB fans. So let's get those out. All right, so we've got these Deepcool 120 millimeter RGB fans. All right, look at that. It also comes with some screws, although these smaller screws would not work with the cooler here, with the radiator. These would work if you're installing this in a case, though. And then you've got some adapter cables for your RGB and power here. Okay. And in our case, let's see how easy it is to install these fans onto the radiator. Basically, you've got some fastener holes there, and we want to make sure that, let's see if it has the airflow direction here. Yeah. So it's kind of hard to see, but there's a little arrow there that shows you the direction of the airflow. Basically, the air flows this way, so we want to blow air out. This will be mounted in the top of our case, and so we want to suck the cool air through the case and then out the top. So we're going to exhaust into the radiator there. And for our case, we're going to have 3 fans on the front of the case that are sucking in air. We've got these 2 fans that'll be on the top of the case with the radiator exhausting, and then we'll have 1 additional fan on the back of the case exhausting as well. Okay, so these are basically installed right there, and all we have to do is take some of these long screws to fasten these to the radiator. Okay. So these long screws come with the AIO cooler. They're long enough to go through, through the fan and come out the other side there and secure into the radiator. Okay, see if we got that lined up. All right. So there's just 4 screws for each fan. And that's all you have to do to secure the fans to the radiator. So if you want this cooler, but you want the RGB fans, you can order those separately and simply add them in place of the fans that come with the cooler. So pretty straightforward, and we'll have additional videos showing this thing in action. So don't forget to subscribe and watch the videos of the PC build.